Once upon a time, not too long ago, there was a girl who lived in a small cottage on the outskirts of a village. Her name was Alice. Now, Alice was a curious girl, always eager to explore the world around her. One sunny afternoon, as Alice was playing in the garden, she spots something peculiar. A large rabbit wearing a waistcoat and holding a pocket watch. The rabbit seemed agitated, constantly glancing at his watch and muttering to himself. Intrigued by this unusual sight, Alice decided to follow him. As Alice ventured deeper into the woods, the rabbit disappeared down a deep hole. Without hesitation, she jumped into the hole and found herself tumbling down into a fantastical world. When she finally landed, she noticed that the ground beneath her was soft like a bed of feathers. As Alice opened her eyes, she realized that she was surrounded by tall trees that reached up to the sky like giant pillars. And what was even more astonishing was that these trees were made of sweets. The branches were twisted and lollipops, and the leaves were made of gummy bears. Suddenly, a talking flower approached her and introduced itself as the White Rabbit. It explained that this was Wonderland and invited Alice to join them for tea. As they sipped their tea, the White Rabbit warned Alice about the dangers of staying in Wonderland too long. According to him, the Queen of Hearts was notorious for throwing extravagant parties, but anyone who attended one of her parties never came back. Before Alice could respond, a strange creature emerged from behind a tree. It had a human face with a wide grin and sharp teeth. The creature introduced himself as the Cheshire Cat and invited Alice to follow him to find the Mad Hatter and the March Hare for a spot of tea. The journey to the Mad Hatter's house was both peculiar and puzzling. They encountered a talking tree that tried to stump Alice with riddles. Then they came across a group of singing flowers who performed a lively tune. Finally, they arrived at a table set for tea. But there was no sign of the Mad Hatter or the March Hare as Alice sat down. A grinning rabbit hopped onto the table and poured her some tea. But before she could take a sip, the teapot began to sing. Startled by the singing teapot, Alice knocked it over and the tea spilled onto the March Hare, who promptly burst into tears. At that moment, the Mad Hatter appeared and scolded Alice for upsetting the March Hare. He then invited her to attend the Queen of Hearts ball that night, warning her that if she stayed past midnight, she would be trapped in Wonderland forever. As the night wore on, Alice danced with the Queen of Hearts and her courtiers, but she couldn't help but feel uneasy. The Queen's manic laughter echoed through the hall, and her sharp eyes seemed to pierce through Alice. Suddenly, the White Rabbit appeared and informed Alice that it was time to leave. If she didn't leave immediately, she would turn into a cat, having 7 kittens, and then disappear. Without wasting a moment, Alice ran out of the palace, leaving the Queen and her ball behind. As she raced through the forest, she heard the Queen's enraged voice echoing behind her. However, just as the Queen's guards were about to catch up to her, Alice slipped through a hidden door and found herself back in her own garden. Shaking off the remnants of her adventure, Alice decided to go back to reading her book. As she settled down, she noticed that the pages were filled with strange and wonderful creatures, making her wonder if maybe, just maybe, Wonderland wasn't entirely a dream.